That was more of an abrupt transition than I thought it was. Okay, just checking real quick. Vocals good, music good, camera looks good. Had some issues with OBS a month ago, which is why I had to stop for a month, but I think we're all good now. I switched over to Streamlabs OBS. I'll get more into all that in just a minute when I talk about announcements, my crazy life in the past month or so, but I'm back. It's Friday and I'm so excited just to be here and draw. I've looked forward to this all week. Who do we have in here? We have Roger, Boost a mic. Thank you. Boost the mic by 5 decibels. That went from like a 12 to an 8. And I see we're in the yellow now when I'm talking. Oh, you know what? My Yeti mic condom fell off. I don't know where it is. Unprotected mic. I don't know how important that is, but it's in the darkness. It's in the ether. It went away. Thank you. Oh, yes, Roger is here. Hello. It's good to see you. I'm glad you can join me over here on the YouTube side. And Miko Bites is here too. Hello, Miko Bites. Working on some cool stuff today. That's for sure. So concerned about this thing that goes over the mic. Oh, here it is. Safety first, y'all. There you go. Oh, now I'm a good level. Awesome. Yeah, so hello everyone, and everyone who is joining me, probably watching this VOD from a later time, as the VODs go up on YouTube and they're evergreen. Something I'll probably be doing before I get into announcements is just letting y'all know real quick that I think I'm gonna put in the description, if you guys are watching this at a later time and you just want to skip to the part where I draw and stuff like that, because I do like to come on and just say hello and just talk about like what's been going on and make some announcements and stuff. So if you do want to skip to that, then I will be putting those timestamps in the VOD, and then it'll be convenient because I love timestamps on YouTube. It's so convenient. So I'll be doing that. Am I using side channel ducking? I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if I know what that is. So basically this is what happens. Let's talk about the whole OBS debacle first, and then we'll talk about all my other debacles. So a month ago, I was streaming and I intended to use OBS because I wanted to multi-stream. And the plan was initially to multi-stream on Twitch. I just realized this is upside down. Hold up. This camera's upside down. That's different. Okay. How do I turn that right side up? Shit. Alright. Oh, I do. I know how to do this. Okay. There you go. I was like, something's off. There you go. That's much better. But okay, back to story time. So yeah, I was intending to use OBS because it is like the superior streaming software, and it's more like customizable, and like everyone loves OBS, you know, over Streamlabs, which is like the weenie version of streaming software. I know. So I was like, okay, I'll use OBS. There's a plugin I found where I can multi-stream on Twitch, and I did that on Twitch, and then Twitch was like, get out of here, you can't multi-stream, literally the next day. That was the whole thing. So I was like, whatever, that's fine. I'll probably look into multi-streaming on Kick in the future. Mixed results with Kick so far. As far as other people have been talking about the platform, I haven't experienced streaming on there yet. Anyways, so I was streaming, and all of a sudden my voice just sounded like Darth Vader. Like, it sounded really, really bad. And my voice was sounding like Darth Vader, and the music was all like crackly and just not, it was not right. It was not right. And it was one of those things that I could not fix while I was on stream. So I had to cancel my stream an hour in, all that, unfortunately, or else it would have just been like me up here being frustrated for like the next hour or so. So I worked on this issue with OBS. I'm using a Mac, by the way. I got a Mac last year, a lovely M1 buff Mac to handle video rendering. So I love it though, but there's some like funky things going on with it as far as working with other types of software, OBS being one of them. and I just could not figure out the problem. I unplugged all my hardware, so I knew it wasn't a hardware issue, and it only happened in OBS. I got rid of all my settings. I restarted OBS fresh with nothing on it, and it was still having that problem, both with the audio and the mic. So I was just like, screw it, I'll just go back to Streamlabs OBS and do that. So that's just what I did recently when I finally had the time, and it seems to be working out so far. I was just able to do this on Streamlabs OBS, and everything's working so far. No robot voice, no issues. Unless you guys say that I'm turning into Darth Vader, then I'd be really mad. Like, we don't want that anymore. So that's a little bit with that. What else? Yeah, so it seems to be working now. It did take a long time. It took me, I actually have been logging my hours for how much time I spend working on certain things. So it took me like over 10 hours just to test everything out. And if I ever do go back to using OBS, I might have to go on Discord, like that Discord server or those forums, to really investigate those causes. But yeah, while I was working on those issues, I got up really quickly to get ready for stream, and then I hurt my foot. Like, I hurt my foot really badly, to the point where I thought it was broken. It didn't break, it was just a really, really bad sprain. But I've been on crutches for a month now, and I finally just got off them. I'm finally able to like kind of walk without them. I'll have to walk slow, but I was on crutches for a month and it was miserable. And shouts to Miko too, who's been like cooking and like driving me to doctor's appointments, because I couldn't drive that whole time either. So there was that. And then yeah, side note too, after all that, if you have a Kia or a Hyundai, like, get that software upgraded, because I also had my car stolen during that whole time, and they're very popular cars to steal right now. So get your vehicle upgraded. If you know someone who has those vehicles, make sure they have their vehicle upgraded. And I'm like still on crutches. I'm like still like on crutches trying to take care of all that. So it was like so sad, like coming out to the police car, because I did find the car, but it's damaged. But like the common saying goes, bad luck does come in threes. So I had my OBS issues, I had my foot, and then I had my car. So I think I'm good now. I think I'm in the clear. But on a more positive note, there have been some like good things that happened during that month too. Like, I got a really cool commission opportunity from a Nevada nonprofit. They're called Nevada Humanities. So I got to do these monster fish commissions that were really cool. I was actually gonna upload the digital files on Instagram and show you guys, but I am getting the physical stickers in because it was a sticker commission. So I'm doing that, or I did that, and it was a really fun, because I love drawing sea creatures. And I've also been applying to a bunch of UI, UX, and product design job interviews, so I can start working on that stuff, because I do like working on apps, and I do like working in that field as well. But it's been a very intense interview process where oftentimes it's like 2-3 interviews, and I have to put together slide decks, and I have to I think I'm interviewing with like 4 to 5 different companies right now, so it's been taking up a lot of my time. But I think now towards the end of the week, this is like the only day this week where I don't have any meetings or any anything going on, so I was really excited to come out here and stream. But I feel very honored that a lot of companies do want to interview with me and do want to get to know what I do in that field. So very busy overall, very busy. A lot of bad stuff, a lot of good stuff, but it's I feel like it's calming down. So that's all the news with me. I know that was a lot. But like I said, I have been gone for a month. I didn't want to be gone for a month. I missed you guys. But I'm back and hoping to regularly come back on here. Either I do like this time at like 3 p.m. Pacific Standard, so the days might change around a bit, but yeah, happy to be back. Anyways, switching gears, now we're going over to the art part of things. So we have this lovely lady here, like looking all cool and shit. What I am working on today, I'm actually gonna draw her twice. We may or may not have time to do both these drawings today, but I'm gonna try. A drawing glove in here, do I? That's fine. But what I'm doing is I had like this simple-ish pose that I wanted to work on because I am using these drawings to work on my next YouTube video, to where I will be working on different inking techniques and how to fix them. Basically how to fix ink mistakes. And I've listed 15 different ways so far. Some of them are preventative measures because you want to be preventative with mistakes, and yeah, just giving people many different options to how they can fix inking mistakes, because people are very daunted to, or feel like it's very daunting to work with ink, like it's permanent and it's there. But I'm like, it's okay, you can work with ink, you can make mistakes with it, because there's different ways to fix them and it's all good. So that's what I'm doing. I'm drawing this and I'm doing it twice, and then I'm gonna mess it up. So, but for now we're just gonna get the drawing in there. I will be using, I would like to show off which tools I will be using today and which papers. I am using a light pad, so it's gonna get a little bright here in a second. I'm thinking about getting a smaller light pad because I don't want a lot of light bleeding out. That tends to happen, so I'll be looking into getting that. I'm using a Hachikawa pen. There it is. Hachikawa pen and ink. It's gonna be some India ink. I love this platinum carbon ink that I use with the dip pen. It just gives it that very beautiful traditional inking look, and it dries fairly quickly. And yeah, I'm gonna have to refill on this some more too because I use it a lot. Another good brand is Dr. P.H. Martin's Black Star. It's also another good one that I've used. And then as far as paper, it's, oh, here it is. Put it away. I am using Strathmore Bristol vellum surface. I wanted to use a paper that I typically use for my ink drawings because that also plays an important factor into how to correct them. So I recommend definitely this brand, Bristol vellum surface. Has a little bit of a tooth to it. I know that webcam probably can't pick it up, but there's a tooth, and then there's the smooth surface, which is like very smooth. I personally like the toothy surface because it just gives it a little bit of that flavor, and it's still smooth enough to ink and get those smooth lines, but either one works. Cyanide Gears, hello, welcome in. How are you today? Yeah, we're about to get started here. I was just done making my announcements and my life updates and getting on to the inking part, which I'm doing some drawings to work on my my upcoming video about how to fix inking mistakes. Right, so with that, I'll go ahead and get started. I intentionally, this is like an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, by the way, and it's a little bit, there's a lot of white space around it, and I did that on purpose because I want room to show off the different kinds of mistakes and like what happens in those situations. crystal pad is so yellow. So what I usually do is, this was something I did in Procreate. I typically start off all my sketches in Procreate because it's so easy to erase and modify, and I like to print it out in red because once the light shines through and then I start inking, I can tell. It's easier for me to tell which is the sketch layer and which is my inking layer, kind of like working in Photoshop. So I do that, and I'm gonna use some masking tape to tape it on there in the middle so my light pad can shine through it. The Pompano, good morning. Good morning to you. How are you today? If it's morning over where you're at, I assume that it's Saturday, so happy Saturday. The time where I'm at is currently 3:31 in the afternoon on a Friday. Oh, it's not morning here. Okay. Yeah, if you're Pompano from Twitch, because I was like, I thought you were in more of a local-ish time zone. Okay, it's like that's the evening. Well, if someone's watching, it is morning somewhere on the other side of the planet, and maybe somebody might be watching this in the future and it is morning, so there is still some truth to that. Good evening. Happy Friday, happy weekend. I like keeping this light a little bit lower, on the lower side. We'll do like one up from that. And there's different levels. This is I forget the brand of this light pad, but it is a little bit cheaper than the name brand ones. But it works out fine. It was like, I think this one was like $40, whereas the name brand ones are $60 or $80. It works out great, so it's fine. But yeah, if it's the weekend, if it's your weekend, what do you guys got going on? What plans do you got? What am I doing? Oh, it will be Miko and I's wedding anniversary on Sunday, so we're gonna go get some Thai food and kick it. I'm just looking forward to chill, honestly, this weekend, because it's been a week. Yeah, weekends and weekdays kind of blend together. That's kind of how things have been for quite a bit. Like, weekdays are just kind of more hectic more hectic weekends. Like, I know you're in school too, so. Oh goodness, this ink is running low. I should probably get a test sheet too for the ink. That's actually something, spoilers, but I'm going to put that in my video, talk about using a test sheet. I'll do that. Oh, you're in summer vacation from school, but you're working, gotcha. Yeah, so your hours are probably not the typical, like, Monday to Friday hours. But I know school is starting soon. I'm so surprised that in a lot of regions, school has already started. Because at least when I went to college, that starts in September. And when I went to grade school, that typically starts last week of August. So I'm like, I don't know why so many people are starting right now. Early. I'm like, doesn't school get out? Well, I know when I went to college, it was from September. Yeah, it seems shorter, like it was from September to May. Like very first week of September to like mid-May. And then when I went to grade school, it was last week of August to like early June. End of August, that's right. Yeah, so many kids are starting right now. I'm like, what in the world? Maybe that's like a Nevada thing, but I've been seeing that too in other states. I'm like, you're starting right now. When do you get out of school? But yeah, hopefully you don't have too many semesters of school left. Wondering if I could set up a secondary camera source so I can have multiple viewing angles for uploading YouTube. Hey Hudson, how's it going? Welcome in. Yeah, I just switched over to Streamlabs OBS and then I got everything fixed from that. Dawn is a final year. That's right, dude. Senior year was so exciting for me because it was like basically almost over and I was so excited for that. It was just like so much fun. Like, yeah, I definitely had the most fun that year because all my classmates were like in party mode and they were just ready to get out of there. But we also worked on the most, how do I say this? Fulfilling projects. Like, you know, as a freshman, you work on a lot of this BS type of work in college. But for my senior year, we did some really fun projects. We did work on, because I graduated with a graphic design degree, and we got to work on a capstone project where we rebranded a whole company. Like, for example, we had to draw from a hat what company we were going to rebrand, and I picked T-Mobile. So we had to rebrand their logo and their packaging and their website and do all that. And it's like, that stuff is really good for putting in your portfolio as a student so that you can apply for jobs straight out of, and have that work in your portfolio straight out of college. And then we also I was in this class called Advanced Graphic Design, and basically we were in that class and the teacher was like, what do you guys want to learn? Like, we'll just make a syllabus off of what you guys want to learn. So that was really cool. And basically everyone said they wanted to be concept artists. So we got to work on concept art for a semester, and we had Wacom tablets in there, like the big 22 HD ones, to work on some concept art. Oh no! Got COVID but ran out of time off? They should still give you time off. Like, you're sick. I know some jobs have like time off specifically for COVID. But man, that's a bummer. Be like, give me some time off or I'll cough on everyone. Damn it. No, for real though. Hopefully you can get some rest. Hey, welcome in, Edward. How's it going? Yeah, I finally got my OBS up and running, or Streamlabs OBS up and running. Oh yeah, another thing I was doing up to in this past month, really diving deep into color theory and trying to just understand colors and the psychology behind it, because I don't do a lot of work with color currently, and honestly, that's because I'm scared. But I did just finish my painting last week, the one with the phoenix that I've been working on stream. So you can see that on my Instagram. Maybe during a break I'll take it out on stream and show you guys, but I finished that. That was just like me trying to comfortably get back into working with traditional paints and color theory and all that. They sent you, they banished you into the tower. Oh no. What's the issue with OBS? So out of nowhere, my voice just started to get really robotic and scrambly, and same with the audio that was playing from my computer, and like I just could not figure out the problem. And I've seriously done everything. Like Miko can vouch for that, and one of our moderators, Annie, could vouch for that too, because he has been helping out. But there was just like no way to fix the problem, so I just switched to Streamlabs OBS, and like everything's fine. Color is fun. It takes time to get it to click. Even then, it's always practice. Yeah, I think I just have to apply it. I just have to do things, and I have to apply it. And I was watching some James Gurney videos this morning, and that's one of the artists I've been studying from lately, because I read his I think it's called Color and Light book, kind of like the go-to book for learning about it's kind of like people's color Bible in a way. I've heard this in multiple YouTube videos already. When people talk about color, they're like, I love this book, it's my Bible. I see why, because he breaks it down so well. So I was watching some of his YouTube videos, and he has such like charming little YouTube videos and tutorials, and he's just there like painting this airplane, waiting for his flight, and it takes him an hour. It takes him an hour to do this beautiful painting. He's like, well, they're boarding right now, but I'm in the last boarding group, so I'm just gonna finish up real quick. And it's like he gets in all these details in out of nowhere. Like, what in the world, man? Like, if I was boarding, I can't focus. But he's so cool, man. Like, I just probably have to do a lot more like real life applications with involving color, just to study it from nature. Because one of my painting instructors told me, like, nature is the best teacher as far as art goes. And it's true. But yeah. Oh yeah, and he has this little parakeet that's so adorable. Like Bob Ross and the squirrel, but he has this Mr. Kooky or something, I forget. I know. I grew up with a bunch of parakeets, so I get it. My mom had so many birds. Like 12 birds at one point. I'm so out of practice with inking. I haven't done it in a while, which is funny because I'm gonna do this twice. So it's gonna be funny to see what the second one's gonna look like. You know, I was telling Miko, because what I'm doing right now is basically preparing a drawing for a YouTube video about how to fix that inking mistakes. And I'm like, for some reason, I have too much pride to just do like a simple little scribble, or just demonstrate. Like, I have to do a real drawing in order to demonstrate these things, and it's not necessary. Like, I can demonstrate inking techniques without having to do a full drawing. But nonetheless, I'm decided I'm gonna do a full drawing, and I'm gonna do it twice. But it should be a cool visual aid. Yeah, what are you up to right now, and what do y'all got going on this weekend? It's being a little bit cooler, not really. I guess one thing about One silver lining about I didn't break my foot, but injuring my foot when I did was that there's really not much to do anyways right now here in Vegas as far as going outside and stuff like that is because it's just too dang hot. And we had a stretch of 110s for a couple weeks and it's kind of dying down now, but still in the 100s, you know. Yeah, it broke a little. Like, we can really feel the difference between 110 and 100. It's like 100 is kind of tolerable, I feel like, but 110 is just absolutely bad. Sub 100 temperatures feels like, yeah, honestly, I was sitting outside today. I don't even know how hot it was. I think it was around 90 degrees or so. And I was just like enjoying it. Like, wow, I can actually sit outside. Like, granted, I was in the shade. But yeah, I was outside. I don't think at 110 I could be outside, even in the shade. Video games and sleep. Oh no. That's also something I did a lot when I was injured. I just played a lot of Tears of the Kingdom. But yeah, lots of video game and sleep. That sucks, dude. I hope you have a speedy recovery. Because, like, at least for me, when I got COVID, that was back in... There was a big Omicron outbreak back in January of 2022, I think. Yeah, and we got hit with that. And it was like... It felt like it wasn't so bad, but it just lingered for the longest time. And the thing about me is, like, I just want to get back into work. I want to get back to it. But I can't do that if I'm sick, even if just a little bit sick, because the sooner I get back into going into work, the longer it'll just prolong, if that makes sense. It'll just prolong. So I try to wait until everything is gone, like everything is gone, before I get back into it, or else it's just gonna stay even longer. That's what really sucks about being sick. At least for me. Like, ugh. I feel like you hid in your house all July. Yeah, we've had a hot summer. Like, I thought it was gonna be... We actually had a nice summer last year, all things considered. There was a lot of rain and a lot of sub 100 temperatures, which was not typical. And we had a nice summer, we had a nice winter to where there was snow in the mountains that lasted up until June. And that's very atypical. So we had we had that humidity coming, which we really need out here. We're running out of water from lakes and stuff. But yeah, it was nice. Oh, you got that one as well? Ah. Your sinuses were screwed for months. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's been like a lot of long-term effects from COVID that a lot of people have gotten, and it's seriously no joke. It's no joke. So, but I'm glad you guys are feeling better, and hoping the same for you, Hudson, that you feel better soon. Yeah, I hate that it's still a thing going around. I mean, honestly, that's kind of what it is. But I do want to go back into going to more conventions and stuff like that. Honestly, I don't have a lot going on right now, except for in October, things are gonna get pretty busy. Like late October, I'm actually going to 2 conventions, back to back. Well, I say back to back, like weekend after weekend. So I will be at TwitchCon actually, since it is in Vegas and it's hard to miss if it's like right there. But I won't be selling my work because I haven't streamed on Twitch. So they're like, no, no, you're not selling your work here. But I will be at Cryomera's table and I will be helping her out with her work. And then the weekend after that, I will be at Lightbox Expo, which is a wonderful convention and expo for artists, and Crymera will also be selling her work there, and so is Edward Drostuff is also selling his work there, and there's going to be tons of classes for artists and stuff, and I'm super excited. I've been to something called CTNX, Cartoon and Animation Expo, which is over in Burbank, which is a similar thing to this, but Lightbox is supposed to be way better. So I'm really excited. Lots of water over there though. Yeah, that's important. That's important as long as there's water, because that's important. I know, I'm so excited. I just saw the list of artists going there, and I was watching the James Gurney videos, and he has a little video too about how he's gonna be at Lightbox, and I'm just like, oh my god. I try not to fangirl, but I'm a little excited that these awesome artists are gonna be there, and it's just really cool to see them drawing in real life. It's so cool. Like, I just want to absorb your power and your talent, like being around these people. You're totally a fangirl. Yeah, I can see you. I can see you fangirl. You're such a fangirler. Yeah, you were fangirling with that one artist at Denny's when we went to Denny's. Funny. But no, a lot of these artists are just really chill, approachable people. Like, yeah, I was telling Miko that I've ran into Steven Silver twice, and the second time was at I'm blanking on it. Designer Con, and we got there right as it opened, so there's not a whole lot of people there, and I just wanted to come up to his booth and be like, hey, like, I like your stuff, you're very inspirational, yada yada yada, just like a quick like hello. And he actually wanted to stay and like talk, and he does this with artists. Like, he really likes talking with them and like wanting to know like what their goals are and what their work is about. So I was like, oh cool. So he was a really cool fellow to talk to. Pascal Campion. I haven't heard of this artist. I'll look up their stuff. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of really good artists there. You're excited for life drawing at Lightbox? Yeah, if it's gonna be anything like life drawing at CTNX, it's gonna be really fun. Like, they have really good professional models out there, and it's good to take a break from going to classes and apply some skills into life drawing. It's really fun. I can't wait. I don't think they actually have the schedule out yet. Like, I don't know either, and I really want to know too, because I'm one of those people who I like to plan these things in advance and just gotta know. But I'll wait. I'll be patient. If the schedule is out though, like, let me know ASAP, because I'm very excited. You're gonna attempt a convention in September. Oh, which convention? The Denny's. Yeah. Yeah, he's very approachable. Oh, that's cool. Conversation locked with Steven Silver. I don't know if he's gonna be at this convention, but he's a very outgoing individual, so you'll definitely have the opportunity to see him at more conventions. Oh, okay, Hudson. Yeah, I know how it goes with COVID. Like, it's very, it really runs you down. So, but thank you so much for stopping by. It was really good to see you, even if it was just for a little bit and just to catch up and stuff like that. So hopefully by the next stream you'll be feeling much better. Yeah, stay hydrated and definitely lots of rest for sure. Like, rest it up, take lots of naps, video games, and just, yeah. But yeah, have a good night and take care. Dang, that's cool. He followed you though. Made it.
Don't care if I get out alive.
You know what I come to find though? It's like, okay, I on purpose made this drawing really small. Than I usually do, but it's so hard to do dip pen with really small lines. So maybe for the second one, I might switch over to a micron. Because I'm like trying to get all the details in the face and it's like, just like more eye wrinkles. That's okay. She's tired, so am I. It's summer. Like, I mean, aside from all the stuff I have going on lately, I've just been feeling so sleepy. And I think it's just the heat. I think the heat just makes us all really sleepy. Oh, I just realized I haven't even like filled up my pen in a while. My pen just held up so much ink. Yeah, fountain pens are not fountain pens. This is technically a dip pen. They're incredible. Got going on so far. Yeah, I find that I really don't like doing my, sometimes I do, but I don't like doing my initial sketch on the paper. I just like having it on a different layer. It just looks so much more clean, and I do like that clean traditional look. That's what I go for. And for a bit. These dip pens also involve a lot of like cleaning and maintenance as you work, which can be off-putting to a lot of people using them, but I just got used to it. I feel like it's something you just get used to with a traditional medium. Same with acrylic paints, which is what I was working on last stream. Some water too, so I'm not just drinking a buttload of caffeine. Yeah, I need way more ink. I'm like trying to scoop out the little bits of ink in here. Do that, order that tonight. Because I also need printer ink. do like about this pen is that it's really good at going in there and adding those shadows. So I think as I'm exploring more of this color theory journey, I'm learning more about tone and different value families, and I think I do want to take some of that knowledge and bring it back into inking so that I have like just more dynamic looking shadows. That's something I want to do with my work so that it just doesn't look like line art and more of like something with form. So this pen is really great for doing stuff like that. Yeah, the ink or the well in this pen carries so much. I think I was able to draw like all that. And you wouldn't think. It's like such a small space, such a small reservoir, but little thing can do so much. Still more. But yeah, I think it's still important to clean it in water. Dip it in some water in between, or else the ink starts to dry on the pen. You don't want that. I think that's why it's also important with traditional medium to clean your brushes and stuff often, because the medium does dry on whatever you're using. Multiple nibs, because you can't just use one. See, as traditional artists, we just collect so much that I've told myself I have to stop collecting other things in my life, because traditional art is already a collection. Traditional art and art books, for sure. I'm like, you know what, that's enough. I can't collect anything else. Oh god, now I'm drawing shoelaces. This is like my favorite part, I guess. And my least favorite because it's so challenging, but it's mesmerizing at the same time. those like little closing details. Maybe I'll turn the light up just a little bit so I can see better. But I also do have you can see it very briefly on the side. I do have my original sketch on the side as well, just so I can reference that, and because the light board doesn't show everything or the details as clearly as my original sketch. I wish I could just like zoom in on a drawing, but I have to use my eyeballs. Enhance. The headphones are dying sound effect. I think if I were to play music out loud though, the mic doesn't really pick it up. Like, this mic setting is so good at not picking up other noises. I do like these headphones though, or earbuds, I suppose. I was able to, they were a free add-on when I got my laptop during Black Friday. Like, would you like $250 worth of Apple products with that? With your already very expensive laptop purchase? I'm like, yes, please, I would. I think prior to that, I was using something bulkier. I was also using wireless headphones, but they were bulky. So this is nice. All right, refill time. I think I'm gonna try to add like a lot more shadows in this piece. I mean, that's the cool thing about doing something twice is you can do whatever you want. I think I even did this one inking stream where I used 3 or 4 different inking mediums to ink the same piece over and over. And it was a really interesting exercise. It was like this girl with a cat. Maybe that's something I will do a future YouTube video on, is just how the effect of different inking mediums and what that looks like, because I know one of them was a brush pen, and those things are very, at least to me, they involve a lot more control, but the output of brush pens are very beautiful. So that's something I'm willing to revisit. Okay, get this phone out of my face. think I'm gonna leave this corner open or incomplete just so I can use it to film actually making mistakes. Like, whoops, I drew the pant wrong, and then show how to fix it. But I'm gonna do that when I actually film the inking mistakes for the video. So basically there's gonna be like, I'm gonna explain all these different ways on how to fix up the inking techniques, because it's very situational depending on if you're just doing, if it's like a small mistake or if it's a big mistake but it's a little more of like a shallow spill, or if it's like a really big mistake, which some tools can't fix that, but there are definitely techniques that can be used for fixing bigger mistakes. I think one of my favorite things to do is just turn it into part of the piece. Like if there were some big like ink spot right here, I'm like, okay, it's part of the background now. And then just draw some stuff with it. I think it adds a little bit of oh, what's that word? Surprise. It adds surprises and thinking on your feet, intuitiveness, which is something I could definitely involve more in my art process. So things that force you into that when you're drawing are kind of cool to me in a way. Spontaneity, that's what I was thinking of. Damn, this girl does not have any socks. That's okay, they make ankle socks that are really, really low. That's probably what she's sporting right now. Let's just say that. Or else that's just gross. It feels weird to wear shoes without socks. It's like, what am I doing? We'll leave that part open. Then I might come back in here. Rather, I will like add a little bit more shading. Try not to put my palm, my hand over the wet spots. then we move on. Yeah, I don't need to like render this piece out too much. It's just an example. We'll turn off that light box because we don't really need that right now. All our lines down. I'm filling in kind of larger shapes like this, I normally don't want to use the dip pen. I usually use something else because it's a little big, but this is probably the largest I would go without switching to another medium or another tool. Oh, I hear my cat trying to get in. Yeah, I'll just keep the shading kind of brief and quick. I don't want to invest too much time in this particular drawing. And then for the next one, I'll try the I'll try a micron pen. See what happens. You ever just like thicken up the line art in one part of the drawing and then you're like, oh, well, now I have to do it everywhere. Keep it consistent. All right, I'm done with you. On to the next. That's somewhere where it can just dry on its own. Hopefully unbothered. Sometimes. Yeah. Well, I feel like you're not really like a line art type of person. Like you're more of like a, I'm just gonna block in shapes kind of person. So I'm sure you don't run into that issue a lot. Also, like, ladies, when you're putting on your like eyeliner and then like you do like a thin line and then there's like a bump in the eyeliner and you're like, okay, well now I gotta make a thicker line, and then you repeat that process until you got like these panda looking eyes because you can't get no shit right. But push and pull is a line shape. Yeah, your lines are like integrated with your shapes, which is a good way to do things for sure, especially as a painter. Yeah, when I paint, I don't really, I've kind of thought about it, like, do I want to have my painterly style more line art based, since I really like doing line art with inks, but I don't really like putting lines in my paintings. I just kind of like making them more form-based. I suppose that's the term. That's actually, I feel like lines can be too much of a dependency sometimes. And that's what I'm trying to get away from. And that's why I'm trying to look more into like painting and color theory and stuff. So I don't have to be so line dependent. But yeah, done with you. On to the next. I guess I'll just clean this pen and then use a micron. Make sure this pen is all cleaned up because we want to take good care of it. We can use it again in the future. Tachikawa dip pen. Tachikawa with a G-nib, because you're supposed to take them out. You're actually supposed to keep them separated when you store them. That's the correct way to do things. Do I do it? No, because I'm bad. But it's okay as long as you clean it. That's the most important thing. If it's clean, then it's fine. I love how artists are like, do as I say, not as I do type of people. This is how to do things, but I don't do that. Don't do that. But be better than me. All it is. We just want to make sure you guys are up for success. Set you guys up for success. Okay. There is no ink on my hands. The joys of working with traditional medium is like, sometimes you just never know when there's some paint or some ink hiding on you, and then you go and grab something. Dude, that happened in high school. I did this black and white pencil drawing of my brother and I was done, and my teacher picked it up and she had yellow paint on her hands and she grabbed it and she felt so bad. And so I had to paint the background yellow. It's like this ugly yellow color, which she offered. She was like, hey, you can like do that. And it definitely looks better without it, but I'm like, this is the only way to salvage this piece. But it's fine. It's fine. All things considered, she was a really good art teacher though. She cared. Okay, what do we have as far as pen? Most of the pens I'm using are in the other room. But I do have this little bag of inking supplies. Okay, I do have a variety. So with microns, dude, I swear, half the pens in this bag are probably not working. They just run out fairly quickly. Those microns, they typically sell them as a set with different sizes. The higher the number, the larger the pen size is, obviously. I like to settle for a 0.5 typically when I do this, but I think they're in the other room, which is fine because I do have a 0.2 and a 0.7, which I can use both of them. I also have like these crazy small ones, like 0.03, 0.05, which unless you're working on some like really tiny stuff, I find that they're not quite necessary. And I've seen artists use them to hatch and stipple and stuff, and if you overuse those very tiny pens, it tends to ruin them and it makes me sad, so don't do that. Use the appropriate pen size. Okay. This is still drying. Like shiny it is. These pens are matte. These pens are more matte. And depending on what India ink you use, some are more shiny than others. The Black Star one is pretty matte. I like working with matte inks, like 100%. Working with shiny inks are so annoying. So the more matte the medium is, the better. That was almost a tongue twister. The more matte the medium, the more it matters. Okay. Damn, I have to use tape. I'm working off of a slanted table. Just better for posture. You don't want to be all hunched over working on art. So get yourself a drafting table, or there's like sketch easels and stuff that artists can use too to make sure that drawing table is good for your ergonomics. Leave that up there. Bring up this next piece. It was just funny because like when I actually draw on the couch, I like doing my digital drawings on the couch. I don't really like doing them at my desk anymore, but I'm always like there with my iPad and I'm just like curled up in the corner and this is how I draw. But I'm like, at least I'm resting on pillows and it's comfortable and stuff like that, so yeah. But you know how us artists get, we're so like, we just get so focused on our work that sometimes we just forget that our back is in an awkward position, or our shoulders, or whatever. So it's good to step back and be aware of that stuff. That's good to go. Some water. I do want to set up a phone shot for this too. Moving that there. Who's messaging me? So I'll obviously start out with the lower size pen. Oh yeah, I forgot. Uni Pin. So there's this, and I think Micron is an actual brand too. Just anything that is a pigment ink. It dries really fast. It's excellent for working with watercolor. If you're a watercolor artist or working with any water-based medium. And then we'll compare towards the end of stream. That would be fun. Like, honestly, I've kind of been feeling the microns again lately over the dip pen because I just feel so much more looser with them. So we might do that. Some of our ink drawings for the next whatever. The next projects and such. I already have a few in mind. I think what I just gotta do is spend a day and take some reference shots because I have tons of sketches, tons of ideas of what I want to do, but I just want to make sure I get the right like pose and reference before I dive into it. That's been a bit of a blocker, so just taking some pictures and then I can use that to start putting together some stuff. Okay, already. Second one just looks so much more looser. And I think I love the dip pen, but I think it holds me back sometimes because I'm trying to be more expressive with my line art now. And it's like nicer because it dries a whole lot faster to where I don't have to worry about ink smudging and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm just working faster overall. I mean, I know, granted, this is the second time I'm doing it, so it's gonna look better anyways, but you ever just switch to a new medium and then you're like, wow, this solved all my problems? It's not always like that. Like, don't be too dependent on your medium, but sometimes it is like that. And it depends where you are in your art journey. I know that earlier on when I was learning how to ink, I think this was around 8-9 years ago, I would just try out all these different mediums and I'm like, I don't know why my work still sucks. But that was definitely more of a technique problem. Damn, I can't wait to eat some shrimp after this. I'm excited. Shrimp is probably one of my favorite foods I've come to find. Shrimp and obviously sushi. I just feel like shrimp just goes really good with a lot of things. Pasta, rice, tacos. Shoot time. I like how every time I draw shoes, shoelaces are comically large, almost. It's like I would never have my shoelaces that large. I would trip over. But it's for the artistic effect. Damn, I feel like I just flew through that one. Forgot to leave some parts open, but that's okay. We can still pretend to make mistakes on this when I film it later. Yeah, my phone said that took me 20 minutes. Like, I still want to go back with a thicker pen to add the shadows, but chair is also uncomfortable and I need to stretch. Okay. Phone out of my way. And put some shadows in here. Okay, so I'm using my 0.7, which is not going to get me those nice little lines like that, so I'm just saving them for when I'm adding the shadows. I think this pen is a little dry. That's my least favorite thing about these pens. They just get dry. Maybe I can find a different one. That's why I have a whole bag of them. Here's the 0.8. Different brand. Copic multiliner. Oh, this one has lots of ink in there. Juicy. We like that. Okay. We'll roll with that. I find it's fine to use different brands to mix them, because they're basically the same thing, same type of ink. Might be a little too heavy for some situations. Let's find a nice middle ground. Like how I don't throw away my dry pens, because I'm like, maybe one day it'll come back and be fine. This is a good pencil, I should keep that out here. But usually it never does. 0.5. It always sucks when you have a really cool looking pen. You got it from somewhere cool and it's like no longer works anymore and you can't throw it away because it's so cool looking. It just sits there as a decorative ornament in your pen jar. Oh wow, I already do have mistakes on here already. So I don't have to make them up for my video. I wonder where those came from. Probably my old drawing. I'll use the bigger micron to fill in these large shadow gaps. Oh. Headphones died. We're done. This drawing looks so much better. But so I'm good I switched up mediums because I'm happy with this one, and I think I'm going to I think I'm using microns for now if I'm inking, because I'm failing it lately. And just retire the dip pen until I feel like picking it back up again. But yeah, just two quick and dirty chill ink drawings, and I mean, there's really no telling when a YouTube video will be ready, but I do plan on working on the next video next week and like doing some more filming and editing for that. So hoping to get that up ASAP because I'm really excited. I haven't I've seen tutorials on how to fix up inking mistakes, but I want to provide as many options as possible, and I haven't seen a tutorial with all the options that I want to provide all in one. So I'm really excited about that, and to talk about preventative measures too, because one of the best ways to prevent mistakes, or one of the best ways to correct mistakes, is to prevent them. So I'll be talking about that as well with my next video. If you guys haven't checked out my existing videos, feel free to do that. I have 4 full-length videos on my page, and as well as the videos from my past live streams. And with that, I'm going to head out. Have a good weekend, everyone. Be sure to check out the links in the description. There's a link to our Discord server and community where y'all can share your work and just tell us about your day and share some resources, and as well as some other social media links down below. So feel free to check that out, as well as my web store where you can buy prints and shirts and stickers and all that fun stuff. So, alright, bye guys, take care, thank you for hanging out.